All right. Did I screw this up? There's a good chance that I have this thing set to unlisted. Oh, so I don't have it set to unlisted. Okay, good. Let me first start off by saying if you're catching up with the live stream the next day or the next week, you don't have to walk away because it's not fresh. It doesn't get stale, I don't think. So give a few minutes here for people to sort of join in. This is open discussion, just sort of whatever. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to try a different radio tonight. This is the Sears Silvertone mock-up of the Transoceanic, their version of it, which is, you know, not as good, but pretty close. We'll first start off by looking at this new toy that they sent me, the FNIRSI TDM-120P. And this comes with either a built-in multimeter or just the thermal scope. And I use the thermal scope a lot in videos. It's a very handy thing to have. So we'll just take a look at this while people are joining up. I'm a little bit early, so I probably should get off of this, huh? Just put it on noise. How's that? Hi, Ryan. Hey, Ryan, if you see any good comments that I miss, if you could copy them and paste them into a text, because, you know, it'll start going by so fast that I'll miss a lot of the comments. So I need my moderator, you know. Where's my moderator? So, yeah, just message me if you see something that I miss. This is open discussion, free for all, kind of, sort of. So here we go. Thermal imager. Yeah, hopefully we're joined by Jason J.J. Cruz this evening. That would be a pleasant surprise, wouldn't it? Get your cruise on. Ah, there's the mercury vapor lamp kicking on. So it's cool because it kind of looks like a phone. I mean, a camera, like a 90s camera. Well, you can see the filament dropping resistor there. That thing's nice and toasty. That's like it. The filament dropping resistor is dominating the whole thing. Can I take a selfie? I can't take a selfie. I can't see myself because I don't look like anything. Anyway, it's a little bit more convenient than that thing that I plug into my phone. It's kind of like a... Yeah, that's the filament dropping resistor right there. Ow. Yes, it is hot. So that is the TDM-120P, and it comes with or without the multimeter. It's a barbecue that mows your yard and cleans your pool and does your dishes. So how hot is that thing? 275 degrees. That resistor is 275 degrees. I do have an infrared temperature gun. Of course, that's where I started. But once you go thermal imaging, you don't go back. Let's see, how are we doing here? 55 people. Oh no, 194. People are probably doing better things than this on a Saturday night, right? All right. So we know what's hot. Again, this is a Sears Silvertone. There's the S right there. And this was one of the acquisitions from that video today of all of the different stuff. All right. Here we go.
Prueba, que tanto solicita. Sí, y que tanto antes negaban que
زنگ زدم بهشون و ایشون و تیم قدرتمندشون پرونده تصادف منو با رقم خیلی بالایی بیشتر از اون چیزی که فکر می‌کردم برام سفید.
We are just days away from the first FIFA World Cup game in Southern California. And now we learned there could be problems.
Thousands of hospitality workers who work at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood voted Friday night to authorize a strike.
no one would get there.
Involved in World Cup security. شامل بخش شود؟ بله، درست شنیدید. با استفاده از قانون فرش استارت پروگرام ما می توانیم نسبت به درآمدتان بدهی شما را کاهش دهیم و یا اینکه بدون پرداخت آن را تصفیه کنیم.
Los errores como la familia.
And the next one.
I got my commercial driver's license in a Cracker Jack
Immediately
box.
after that, I believe that I have.
Furnished by Purity Products.
Again, this is a tooth.
We expected you an hour ago.
Yeah, well, stuff happened.
So let's try, let's see. Let's try the 1.9 to 6.25 megahertz. Very noisy tonight. And I don't think it's the radio because I was playing with this last week and it was not noisy like this. What is CHU? Sorry for my ignorance. $78.50. Okay, my ignorance, I tell you. I don't believe I've ever gotten that here, though. What did we say was 78? $78.50. Well, this. Okay, let's try that. Seems kind of dead on this band. Okay, we are listening right now. Yeah, the high-pitched squeal is some type of feedback with these 1-volt tube filaments. Okay, we want to try 14670, but this thing is deaf on this band. $33.30. Okay, let's try that. $33.30.
Of this principle,
피하지 못하고 있습니다.
Temperatures are dipping down into the upper 50s to the 60s.
That's KNX bleeding in. So it looks like I picked a really bad weekend to do this. There's a lot of talk about the poor propagation and the noise being due to solar storms. I didn't see anything about the solar storms in the mainstream news. Let me take a minute here, just since this is sort of a crappy situation with the solar activity. I made a few notes based on comments today. So I was a little bit impressed with the performance of today's video on the old radios. I didn't think that was really going to get as much attention as it has. And there's also been a couple posts about, or not messages, but comments on today's video about Glass Slinger. What happened to Glass Slinger? Now, I took a look, and it looks like the last video was 10 months ago. So does anyone have any information on that? So Glass Slinger, a lot of interest in that. And comments about notifications, people not getting notified about new videos coming out. Well, that's been an ongoing thing with YouTube as long as I can remember. All I can say about that is you guys know when I put out a new video, so just check in. You're gonna see it. Don't wait to be notified. YouTube has their own agenda with that. And yeah, they probably didn't notify people today because of some of the symbolism that was on one of the radios that I featured. So I wouldn't be one bit surprised if the AI didn't just shut that down right away. Oh boy. Do people really think that the lead paint, layers of lead paint in a house attenuates the RF? Do people really think that? I don't know. I'd like to see a study on, lead house paint attenuating a signal in a room. Greetings from Cape Town. Greetings from the land of Mr. Bloomsteyer, who we should hear no more from. Yeah, this is one of the radios from today's video, and I had to grab it. And I need to really thoroughly go through some of his restore work and critique it. I don't know if this is aligned to its best performance. I just grabbed it and plugged it in, started using it. Yeah, this is probably WRMI.
Seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of God deceitfully, but by manifestation of the truth, commit ourselves to it.
I want you to see the difference between the doing, the giving, and the activity. And you are being single in the activity. And there is a chasm apart from each other. If your whole motivation is to do and your focus is on works and doing something good for humanity, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but that's not going to take you into heaven, versus you're eyeing single, you're listening to the words of the Lord, you're reading them, you're the first one being in Colossians 3.
With GPS, I could see them getting rid of WWV. I really could. I would think WWV is more reliable than GPS. I mean, it can be jammed. I mean, so can WWV, but it's a lot less likely to be jammed. All right, Ryan says he's getting 3 of these CHU stations. 3330.
Currently 90 to 68 degrees and Fairmont 73.
That's KNX.
68 degrees at 4 at 7.7. According to the city council, the municipal round market running calculations, budget flights on the surveys before the closing news first. The green shows Pratt still in second place behind Kern Gas, but now with fewer than 70.
Let me go stand by while I go get the signal generator. Okay, Michael Bloomsteyer, here we come. Take me away. All right. I'm back, I think. Okay, let's see. On 3330. 3330 kilohertz, AM modulation, AM, okay. Boy, is that weak. Nothing there. Okay, what was the next one we said? 7850. Okay, we'll go up.
Close. The Mirage.
7850. Can I do that? Yeah, I think so. $78.50. This thing is completely deaf on this band. Oh, well, maybe if I turned it on, it would help. There we go. I can't even. I'm on. This thing is not even. Something's wrong here because I'm on 7850, right? 7.850, and it's not picking it up. Maybe that's it. Listen. Is that it? Okay, good. Success. With the high-pitched squealing in the background. Stand by. I'm going to grab a roll of wire. Let's tie a wire onto the antenna. Okay, I got a roll of wire here. See, this is what we do now on Saturday nights. We don't go out to club and party. We listen to beeping noises on the radio. Okay, we got the ID in there, CHU. Very cool. Well, I'm glad I was able to get this one sort of logged if they're shutting it down. And if you're just joining, this is Canada's version of WWV. And it was brought to my attention when I started this live stream that they're shutting this down. So this was not the ideal radio to do this with. This is not my best performing radio. Anyway, what else is going on? Let's see. For those of us that are not smart, please explain what you were just doing. Okay, well, what we're doing is we're trying out a radio that I got at a quote unquote estate sale, and we're listening to the shortwave band, and we're listening for distant stations that are propagating from other parts of the world. And we were just listening to Canada's broadcast time service called CHU. The American version's called WWV, and they are shutting this one down. So it was brought to my attention. We were just able to capture that from Canada. So that was sort of a neat thing, I think, for everybody to hear. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and we're just sort of chilling out on a Saturday night and seeing what's going on and what topics people are bringing up. And the only thing that's really been brought up so far was the CHU thing. Yeah, okay, so been talking about shutting down WWV for a long time now, but it's still up. So we can listen to WWV and WWV is on like 5, 10, 15 megahertz.
At the tone, 3 hours, 4 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
Beginning November 2021. We have test signal on service tower on WW. Minute 48 on WW. The signal has been created to assist in research and is a joint effort of the Radio Citizen Science Investigation and NIST. The signal consists of various tones, chirps, and noise bursts. The signal will be broadcast for several weeks. For more information on FNIRSI and the WWVH project, please visit www.hamsci.org/WWV.
At the tone, 3 hours, 5 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
So it'll probably come in way stronger. I think this radio is not quite aligned right. This radio uses a 1L6, just like a transoceanic, but it's not nearly as good because as KNX is bleeding in on the shortwave bands, and the transoceanics don't do that. So Radio New Zealand, what frequency is that, please? I've got it before out in the desert, but what are we looking for? I think it was 7 something. $17,675. This thing's not going to do 17,675. I mean, it will, but it's like totally deaf. We'll try it. Or maybe it will. Boy, is it buried in the... Nobody's home for this one. You guys can't see that, but yeah, we'll have to try that next time. Where's Jason JJ Cruz? Okay, reading through the comments here. New Zealand's playing Boz Skaggs. Oh, what, the Dirty Lowdown or Lido Shuffle? It's too bad. Don't want to miss out on that. Yeah. I would... Well, this is... You know what? This is too damn coarse. 5.9 to 18.2 megahertz, that's way too coarse. You're never going to be able to tune that wide of a thing and get any kind of, good sensitivity. Yeah, what's this one? 1.9 to 6.25. So that's like, what, 4 megahertz? And then this one's 6 to 18. It's like, what, 12 megahertz? It's just too wide. That's why the transoceanics have so many separate bands. That way they get a better overall performance. I mean, it's a novel concept, but it certainly just doesn't cut it. Let's try... how do we contact you? Well, you can contact me right here, right now. I mean, I'm all yours, baby. Speak up. Let's hear what you got going on. The Silvertone suburbanite that came out of the Red Hill mine dump. Yeah, that radio, that TV, that resurrection is going to happen. I'm just waiting. I'm trying to get all of these sort of leftover projects out of the way. And the show might be over because the thing just started slipping. Really? Come on. Can you please explain how the Pioneer DC Protect circuit works? Okay, I'm assuming here that you're talking about a receiver that has the relay that disconnects the speakers. I know the theory there. The theory of operation is that you don't want DC on the speaker, so those sets have a relay that checks the DC offset of the output before engaging the relay. So if something goes wrong where the transistor's short and you get a high rail voltage on the speaker, it will not engage the speaker. So it's sort of a balancing thing. The directly coupled audio amplifiers have that protection circuit because if there is a failure, it will often result in the DC right on the speaker, and you don't want that because you might have expensive speakers that might end up shooting flames out of the front of them. Can you help me repair a tube radio? I'm in India. It's a Philips B5CA37A. No one here knows about tube stuff. I'm only 14, so I have no experience. First of all, that I don't have service data on anything from that part of the world. So America is sort of like its own island of service data. I guess most countries were. And with the internet, you're going to find anything. I don't know anything about. I mean, it's like any other tube radio. It should, the theory of operation and the parts and all that are going to be the same. It's just the part numbers are going to be different. Philips, I'm sure, use those letter tubes and just start doing your research, man, and understand how it works and then go from there. I don't have any magical cures to fixing stuff. Everybody just automatically thinks that I know everything, and I don't. I have to diagnose and figure everything out. Everything I work on is a different thing. I mean, the pattern problems on this older stuff are not like the newer stuff. I don't know if that's a good answer or not. Probably not.
Is from the Lord. And you might think this way, the source of joy is from the Lord or of the Lord. And what it is to its recipient.
I'm reading the comments. Hang there. Hang with me.
It's a simple thing, but a lot of times I've heard this misquoted. People say, let the joy of the Lord be your strength. In other words, people have made this emphasis.
Would a bad 17JZ8 tube cause low vertical deflection on a Zenith black and white TV? Absolutely. Weak tube will definitely cause poor vertical deflection. I think 17JZ8 is a two-section vertical output tube, vertical oscillator and output, multi-vibrator. Also drifted resistors, and, you know, open capacitors or drifted capacitors. Yes, I still have the old Panasonic TV.
The word, if you remember, being in the Hebrew for understanding. And the book was open and read in the sight of all people.
Phil Henry. The name sounds familiar. I never listened to KFI. I could never get into KFI. I don't know. Just never.
So they read in the book of the law of God.
I think KFI is 50 kilowatts, right? It's sure has poor coverage.
Nehemiah, which is the governor, the two shepherds, and Ezra, the priest, the scribe, and the Levites that taught the people, said unto all the people, this day is holy unto the Lord your God, mourn not nor weep. For all the people wept.
What's the hardest repair job that you successfully completed? Probably some of that Trinitron stuff. Those things can be really, they're either really easy or really difficult.
They were given understanding. You want to say their minds and their hearts were open so that in the hearing of this God's word, they wept. And verse 10 says, then he said unto them, go your way, eat the fat, drink the sweet, some portions unto them for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy unto our Lord, neither be ye sorry. Don't be full of
Okay, yeah, we were talking about Glass Slinger. Where's Glass Slinger?
But here's our text. For the joy of the Lord, that which is and comes of the Lord, that's your strength. In other words,
Okay, I'm reading the comments. Hang in there.
hearing, whether that was a reaction or they wept because it was an indictment under the law, whatever, however you want to put that. They're told not to weep, but in fact, go eat, drink, send to people.
I cannot do a down and dirty alignment right now. I could do one next live stream. I don't have anything sitting here.
Don't be downcast, if you will. The joy of the Lord, that which comes from the Lord, this is your strength. Go in that.
The resurrections have not been as horribly bad as the Trinitrons with high voltage problems are the worst because you don't know what caused the cascading failure. Something goes wrong and it takes out one transistor and then the regulator, and they're a nightmare. They're a nightmare. And if you don't get what originally caused the whole thing to fail, you're going to lose it all again.
A whole list of people. The one of 10 dwelt in Jerusalem, and the other people dropped off.
Bench pressing. I don't.
Talks about how even from these far-flung corners, people either came, but there's a whole convergence of the ones that lived and the ones that lived as far away, for example, as Beersheba, pretty far away from the epicenter of the city, Jerusalem. And then
Yes, Glass Slinger is that person. That.
And if you were wanting to have some fun, you could line up some of these names with the names that appear in, oh boy, don't even go there, in 1 Chronicles
We'll check for Navajo Nation in a second. I'm still not caught up here.
That gives that about priest. You can do that if you wanted to. But as you keep reading, when you get to verse 27 in the 12th chapter, it says, at the dedication of the land. And there's great debate of how long all of this took place. And they figured
All right.
it
All right.
way back there. But we're not using the chapters in which people in God's book sometimes God takes two verses that are being said, and there could be hundreds of years between, like prophecy, and other times two verses, a little or a lot.
KTNN.
The dedication of the wall of Jerusalem, they sought the Levites out of their places to bring them to Jerusalem.
Let's go
to
kiss
keep
the wall,
dedication with
people.
God, with thanksgivings and with singing of cymbals, psalteries and with harps. You can see there's a great celebration going on here. And throughout, you've got throughout this book.
There we go. Let's get a little mood lighting going
people
here.
bringing and giving, and not under coercion. You've got a great example of people bringing themselves.
KTNN.
Ya ven que todo lo que pasó antes era herencia que dejó el pan y el frío.
A ver, pero que ahora...
This is the new commercial truck driver station here in LA.
It's okay to inflict on residential neighborhoods. It's just gone through ongoing devastation and extended until 2:10 in the morning, because that's the helicopters lifted off at 2:10 in the morning.
تم محلی هم داشت، خیلی جالب بود. آهنگ جدید دیگری که براتون آماده کردیم که بعد
Absolutely outrageous.
It's not there tonight.
خوبیه و کاراش هم قشنگه. اینم
de Andrés Manuel.
بله.
Feels like we are in a war with our own government.
Speaking of which, what's the next step? Are you able to talk to somebody? Is the city council able to send a
KTNN is not there tonight. This radio gets it. I was picking it up last weekend at this time on this radio. Oh yeah.
Meter los hijos de mar para trabajar los pobres petroleros, a robar, a hacer tranza. Es lo que hacían, oiga. Nomás que ahora...
Comes early to Angel Stadium. Be one of the first 25,000.
el trabajo terminado. Y mucha gente quiere que estuviéramos bien.
Me da mucho gusto, señor Angulo.
RAV4 hybrid with the versatility and
Turn it.
But
You move.
73
For
Table manners.
in person or live stream from wherever you are.
con el número. Tarjeta Visa de.
Terminarlos de esta tentación, líbranos y guárdanos de todo mal. Amén. Dios te salve María.
But you just saw what happened here in Florida.
And one of my focuses has been trying to keep it really straight on exactly what it is we're investigating.
At chicboutique.com.
we should worry about great saints. St. Patrick traveling through Ireland, spreading Christianity. St. Thomas More, St. John Fisher, enduring captivity to help the church continue to develop. And seats are limited, so reserve your spot today.
LA Talk 1580.
I'm Esther Dillard with BIN News Now. A mass shooting at a festival in Toledo, Ohio. Police say when they arrived at the scene this Saturday evening, they found 12 shooting victims.
The officers were quick to respond. They were right there when the shots were coming out. It appears as though there was at least 2 shooters. They were probably shooting at each other.
Gunfire ripping through a street festival today in Toledo, Ohio. Several victims hospitalized.
Once the shots get fired, everybody just want to scatter and everything. Yeah, we were just sitting right there having a good time talking to our people, and then the shots got the fire.
Police say at least 12 were shot, no one under conditions. Police are looking for suspects. Ohio Governor Michael Donald says that he's trying to
That was kind of DXy. It was there for a minute and it just faded out.
파라오를 모르는 자, 노래방을 논하지 말라. 노래방의 절대 강자, 파라오.
사운드가 빵빵.
Dios ruega, Señora, por nosotros los...
Inclusive así.
Haciendo muy bien las cosas.
Por ahí agua de lluvia.
Yeah, this is sucking tonight. We did get the CHU thing. I learned something.
И кончилось это тем, что он предстал перед судом. Я назову это
One of these hours, this thing is going to move dramatically and quickly, and it will all
from the musicians, the temple workers, as I said, priests and Levites. And all of these people are memorialized. Somebody would read a chapter where you've brought in so and so and so and names of people and say, this is dry. What does this have to do with me? It's not dry. These people, they were living people.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm a big fan of my Desert DX. This is in the city. Next time I want to try and do something southern. That way we get the Mexico stations. The Mexico stations really seem to dominate with good music. Yeah. This was a bust, a little bit. We could go back and try that Canada thing one more time, maybe, and then call it a night. Let's see, what frequency was that again? 14670. 14. Really? Or was I doing 7850? I had to be doing 70. This thing. Oh, there it is. These new little genetically modified micro mosquitoes we got out here are something else. I'm wearing. I've got my whole body covered. I'm wearing these permethrin infused military clothes, and they're eating my neck. I got little bumps all over my neck now because that's the. These things are brutal, man. And they're like year round now. We don't have a non-mosquito season. You just have to cover like every open inch of your skin. And then they'll go in your ears. We don't have ticks here. Not that I know of, anyway.
coordinated universal task.
They say that these new mosquitoes adapt to DEET and become attracted to it. They're very hard to repel, and they are very small. You can hardly see them or hear them, and they are like flying darts. The second they land, they're inside you. They don't mess around. I don't think citronella works. I don't think anything works on these things. They I'm just reading the comments here. Permethrin is supposed to work really good. And I mean, it's keeping them off, but if you have any kind of exposed skin, they'll tap you. Soy Milk wants to contact me. Spilt soy milk. I don't know, the email address is on the channel about page. I mean, that's been there for everywhere. We moved from soy boy to goy slop. The language has changed. We no longer have soy boys. Now we have the center of the supermarket, which is the goy slop department. Except the kosher aisle. I forgot about that. Don't want to screw with that. Now, it wasn't any kind of comment on your we're talking just about cultural language trends. I mean, this sort of sounds like I'm chilling in a hospital with this beeping thing. It's like a heart monitor, right? Yeah, thank you for educating me about CHU. I had no idea. I did not know that Canada had a time thingy. I definitely need a cigar to go with my radio. Let's try WRMI. Yes, nicotine was used as a pesticide. It was called blackleaf 40. Blackleaf number 40. I remember seeing bottles of it in a neighbor's cabinet garage for the, with fertilizers and stuff. It's %40 nicotine sulfate. Discontinued highly toxic agricultural pesticide and miticide that contained 40% nicotine sulfate. Try 7074. Ugh. Okay, I can do that. Try and wear the dial cord out here. $70.74. 70. What am I listening for in 7074? So I wonder if we knew what frequency this was, we could probably beat the signal generator against it. And decode it, right? So we don't need any modulation. You can almost understand it. We're down about 7,000. There we go. I can only go in 10 kilohertz steps. Wait, what was I? Crap. 7210. Let me see. 70. Amigs. No. This doesn't have a fine enough. This doesn't have a fine enough. No, it's not going to do it. If I had a variable one, I could do it. Yeah, get an AM pocket radio and beat against it. Good idea. I'll have to do that next time. Could I beat it against the IF? Ooh, that sounds dirty. Stand by. I didn't even think of that. Nope, filters it out. I think I kind of smoked this thing anyway. I hooked it to, the output's very weak now.
These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy, that's it.
destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, and ox and sheep and ass, with the edge of the sword.
On these things, and the next time somebody starts murmuring about why you
atención y te invitamos a un nuevo espacio más de Estar al Sol. Y fue eso mismo, de ayer, hoy y siempre.